What if I told you there's a fragrance sitting in discount bins right now that costs more than some people's rent? And what if I also told you that some of the most hyped releases from last year are now cheaper than a decent dinner for two? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jesse, and I'm glad you clicked on this video. And today, we're diving deep into something that's been keeping me up at night. Not in a bad way, mind you, in the best possible way. See, I've been tracking fragrance prices like a hawk for the past 2 years. And what I've discovered will either make you very happy or very broke. Probably both. We're talking about 5 incredible fragrances that have hit price points so good they're basically stealing. From a discontinued masterpiece that just resurfaced to a fresh release that's already dropped 40 bucks, these deals won't last forever. But here's the thing. Each of these bottles tells a story. And some of those stories, they're about to save you serious money. Let's start with the one that started it all. Picture this. It's November last year, and my buddy Marcus calls me at 11 p.m. Not texting. Calling. Marcus never calls unless someone's in the hospital or he's found liquid gold. Jesse, he says, barely containing his excitement, I just got my hands on something that doesn't officially exist yet. That something was Versace Eros Energy. Now, Marcus works at a high-end department store, and sometimes, just sometimes, they get shipments early. This bottle wasn't supposed to hit shelves for another month, but there it was, sitting pretty in a box marked "Do Not Display." The moment he described it, I knew we were dealing with something special. Eros Energy takes everything you love about the Eros line and cranks it up to 11. That opening, pure lime and lemon chaos. Not the gentle, refined citrus you get in some designer fragrances. This is like someone took a bag of sour candy and turned it into liquid form. But here's where it gets interesting. Everyone's calling this an Aventus clone. And sure, I can see the similarities. There's definitely some DNA there. But calling Eros Energy an Aventus clone is like calling a Ferrari a Toyota. Because they both have 4 wheels, the resemblance is surface level at best. Where Aventus gives you that sweet pineapple opening with birch and oak moss, Eros Energy goes full citrus assault. No pineapple here, just pure unadulterated sour lime that hits you like a citrus bomb. It's closer to Mont Blanc Explorer's take on the Aventus formula, but even more aggressive. Performance? This thing is a beast. I'm talking 8 to 10 hours of solid projection in summer heat. The kind of fragrance that makes people ask what you're wearing from across the room. The retail was sitting around $115, $120. Not cheap by any means. But here's the kicker. It's now hitting discounters for 70 bucks. 70 for a 100 ml tester that comes with a full presentation. Marcus was right to call me at 11 p.m., but that wasn't the whole story. Sometimes the best fragrances are the ones that slip through the cracks. The ones that brands discontinue are not because they're bad, but because they're too good for their own good. That's exactly what happened with our next fragrance. And I almost made the biggest mistake of my fragrance journey. Dolce & Gabbana, the one Gentleman. I remember seeing this bottle years ago when it first came out. Beautiful gray cap, gold accents, that sophisticated look that screams expensive. But I was young, broke, and thought 50 bucks for the one EDP was already pushing it. Why would I spend double that on something called Gentleman? Biggest mistake ever. See, the one Gentleman isn't just another flanker. It's what happens when perfumers decide to create something truly refined without worrying about mass appeal. While the one EDP was busy being everyone's favorite crowd pleaser, Gentleman was sitting in the corner, being sophisticated and classy, waiting for someone to appreciate its elegance. The scent? Imagine the most perfectly balanced nutmeg and spice accord you've ever smelled. Not the kind of spice that screams, "Look at me." The kind that whispers, "I'm expensive," without saying a word. There's this woody backbone that feels mature, refined, almost vintage in the best possible way. No tobacco, like the one mysterious night. No amber smokiness, just pure sophisticated spice and wood that makes you want to put on a 3-piece suit and buy a watch that costs more than your car. And that's probably why it got discontinued. The one EDP sells because everyone can wear it, everyone likes it, and everyone understands it. Gentlemen requires taste. It requires someone who appreciates subtlety over projection, elegance over popularity. But here's the beautiful part, it's back. Limited quantities, probably clearing out old warehouse stock for $100. Compare that to the one EDP, which now runs 70 to 75 on discounters. And you're getting a collector's piece for barely more than the regular stuff. Trust me on this one, this isn't staying in stock forever, and what happened next would shock everyone. There are fragrances you like, fragrances you love, and then there are fragrances that change your life. Roja Elysium Parfum Cologne falls into that third category, and the story of how I got my first bottle is one I'll never forget. It was 3 years ago, and I just started getting serious about fragrances, like really serious. I'd moved past the designer stuff you find at Macy's and was exploring the world of niche perfumery. Roja Parfums kept coming up in every best of list, every fragrance forum, every YouTube video about luxury scents. But the prices? Absolutely terrifying. I remember standing in a Nordstrom holding a bottle of Elysium, reading that price tag over and over, $290 for cologne. My rent was $600 at the time. This bottle cost half my rent, but I sprayed it anyway. That first spray changed everything. This wasn't just citrus and vetiver. This was like someone took the concept of a perfect blue fragrance and spent years perfecting every single note. The opening hits you with this bright, sparkling citrus that feels expensive. Not sweet, not cloying, just perfectly balanced brightness that makes you feel like you're wearing sunshine. Then the vetiver comes in, not the harsh, bitter vetiver you get in some fragrances. This is smooth, creamy, almost buttery vetiver that blends seamlessly with those citrus notes. Add in some ambergris, a touch of vanilla, and you've got something that smells like it was designed by angels. I saved for 2 months, skipped nights out, ate ramen more than I care to admit, and finally bought my first bottle for $220 on a discounter's website. Worth every penny. But here's the crazy part. You can get it right now for $180. $180. That's $40 less than I paid 3 years ago and probably over $100 less than retail today. The versatility is unmatched. Office meetings, date nights, casual weekends, fancy dinners, this works everywhere. The performance? Solid 8 hours with good projection for the first 4. The compliment factor? Through the roof. If you've been waiting for a sign to try a luxury niche fragrance, this is it. But that wasn't even the most surprising discovery. Sometimes you walk into a fragrance expecting one thing and get something completely different. That's exactly what happened when I first encountered Stronger With You Tobacco by Emporio Armani. And the story involves a very frustrated sales associate named Tony. I was hunting for authentic tobacco fragrances, not the watered-down, tobacco-inspired stuff that most designers put out. Real tobacco. The kind that smells like an expensive cigar lounge, not a gas station. Tony had been showing me bottle after bottle. This one has tobacco notes, he'd say, spraying something that smelled more like vanilla with a tobacco sticker slapped on it. This one's very tobacco forward, he'd try again, handing me something that couldn't find tobacco with a GPS. After about an hour of this, Tony was getting frustrated. I was getting frustrated. We were both ready to give up when he disappeared into the back room and came out with a bottle I'd never seen before. Look, he said, I'm not supposed to have this yet. It's an exclusive edition that's not officially available in the US. But if you want real tobacco, this is real tobacco. He wasn't kidding. Stronger with you. Tobacco doesn't mess around. That opening hits you with immediate pipe tobacco. Not cigarettes, not the synthetic stuff, but rich red pipe tobacco that smells like it came from a humidor that costs more than your car. But it's not just tobacco. There's that signature Stronger With You DNA underneath. That sweet chestnut and tonka combination that makes the original so addictive. The balance is perfect. The tobacco is strong enough to satisfy serious tobacco lovers, but the sweetness keeps it from being overwhelming. It's sophisticated without being stuffy, strong without being aggressive. Performance? This thing lasts forever. 10 plus hours easy, with a projection that commands respect. The kind of fragrance that makes people remember you long after you've left the room. Tony hooked me up that day for $125. Now you can find it for $112 on the gray market. still not officially available in the US, which makes it feel even more special. And what I discovered next would surprise everyone, including myself. There are fragrances that smell good, and then there are fragrances that smell like nothing else on earth. Brioni Oud Parfum. Essentiel falls into that second category, and I almost missed it completely because of a misunderstanding that could have cost me big time. My friend Daniel works for a luxury fashion house. Not Brioni, but close enough that he gets invited to industry events. Last spring, he texted me from some fancy fragrance launch party. Dude, there's this green fragrance here that smells like vegetables, but in a good way. Vegetables in a good way. I almost didn't follow up on that text. Who wants to smell like vegetables? But Daniel has good taste, and vegetables in a good way was such a weird description that I had to investigate. 3 weeks later, I finally tracked down a bottle to smell. The moment it hit my skin, I understood exactly what Daniel meant. This isn't a vegetable like a salad. This is green tomato leaf. That fresh, almost herbal scent you get when you brush against tomato plants in a garden. But that's just the opening. Underneath that unique green accord, there's this beautiful musky, woody base that feels expensive and refined. Add in some subtle spices and a touch of sweetness, and you've got something that doesn't smell like anything else in the fragrance world. Even within the Brioni lineup, this stands completely apart. The original Oud Parfum is nice. The Intense is unique with its bitter orange and violet leaf combination. But Essentiel is in a league of its own. The performance is solid, 6 to 8 hours with moderate projection. Not a beast mode fragrance, but strong enough to get noticed. The real appeal here is the uniqueness factor. In a world where every brand is chasing the same trends, Essentiel dares to be different. And at $71, that's practically stealing. Most unique niche fragrances cost twice that, and none of them smell quite like this. Perfect for spring, amazing in mild summer weather, fantastic in early fall. This is the kind of fragrance that makes people stop and ask what you're wearing, then get confused when you tell them because they've never heard of anything like it. But here's what you need to know before you make any decisions. Let's talk strategy for a minute. You've got 5 incredible fragrances, 5 different price points, 5 completely different vibes. How do you choose? If you want immediate gratification and summer performance, Eros Energy at $70 is a no-brainer. It's new, it's hyped, it performs like crazy, and that price won't last forever. Looking for sophistication and collector appeal? The One Gentleman at $100 gives you discontinued rarity with refined elegance. Perfect for the guy who wants something nobody else has. Want to step into luxury niche territory? Elysium at $180 is your gateway drug to the high-end fragrance world. Versatile, beautiful, and from a house that knows how to make juice worth the money. Craving authentic tobacco that doesn't compromise? Stronger with you tobacco. At $112 delivers the real deal with exclusive edition bragging rights. And if uniqueness is your thing, Brioni Essentiel at $71 offers something completely different that you won't find anywhere else. Here's my honest recommendation. If you can only get one, go with Elysium. It's the most versatile, the highest quality, and at this price, it's an investment that will pay dividends every time you wear it. But if you can swing two, pair Elysium with either Eros Energy for summer beast mode or the One Gentleman for sophisticated evening wear. Remember, these prices fluctuate based on stock and demand. What's $70 today might be $90 next week, or it might sell out completely. The fragrance game is all about timing. And right now, the timing couldn't be better. So there you have it. 5 incredible fragrances at prices that won't last forever. From citrus bombs to sophisticated spices, from luxury niche to unique green accords, there's something here for every nose and every budget. Which one caught your attention? Are you team citrus beast mode with Eros Energy? Or are you more interested in that sophisticated gentleman elegance? Maybe you're ready to dive into luxury territory with Elysium. Or you're craving that authentic tobacco experience. Drop a comment and let me know which direction you're leaning. I read every single comment and I love hearing about your fragrance journeys. If this video helped you discover your next signature scent, smash that like button and hit subscribe with notifications on. We're dropping new fragrance content every week, and you don't want to miss the next round of incredible deals and discoveries. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, smell and feel good. Stay fragrant.